Well, hello again, and here we are. It's a magnificent summer's morning. Myself and Brian, we were chatting last night. We were debating whether to go fishing or not, and we had a good look at the forecast, and it's telling us it's bright sunshine all day long, very little wind. So we said, look, I think it'd be a waste of time. So what we decided to do, we decided to have another chill day out, and we're going to head down to the Red Fox. But first of all, we're going to head on into the Tralee. There's a lovely tackle shop down there called Landers. And I bought some stuff online there over the years or so. And they have a fantastic range of fishing gear and that, And just to do something different, we're going to pay a visit there. You never know. We might buy something. We might buy an old rod. We might buy a couple of flies or so, In the meantime, I'm inside in Cork City. And it's early in the morning. And I'm going to go in and have a bit of breakfast. I'm meeting Brian later on. I know about 10:30 or 11 o'clock or so, actually. So I say it's about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning at the moment. So I'm going to go in, I'll have a bit of breakfast, and I'm going to go into the English market. That's where I buy a lot of my meat and cooked ham and my Clonakilty black pudding. Absolutely love that, and Brian's the same, actually, So after that, then we'll head on. Head on out. I'll meet Brian, and we'll head on down, and we'll head into Tralee and then the Red Fox in Killorgan, actually, Now, I'd say it's going to be a magnificent day, a beautiful summer's day. So I wanted to bring out my new cooker, and I want to experiment with a couple of dishes. Just something different, actually, So look, I'll talk to you later on. Now, this is the English market in Cork City, where I buy all my meats and various other bits and pieces that I use in the ingredients and some of my cooking, actually. Very famous place in Cork City. It's been here I think maybe over 250 years, actually. There's about 30 stalls inside here, and they have all varieties of food from all over the world. And I look forward to coming in here every week. I've been there once or twice a week, actually. I do a bit of shopping here and that, actually, from, as I said, there's all types of meat that I use in my ingredients. My favourite of all is the bacon rib and white cabbage that I cook maybe at the beginning of the season. Beautiful dish. I'll cook it sometime, actually, hopefully by the season ends, and myself and Brian sit down and have a feast on that. Morning, Pauline. This is where you buy your bacon ribs, and you do it with your white cabbage. As I said, that's Pauline, the owner there. I'll be there in now, hopefully the next month or two, and I'll get a dish or two going there. Murray's tackle shop, where I buy most of my fishing gear throughout the year. It's in business, I think, for nearly, I know, 100 years or 150 years or so actually, and it's run by, passed down from generation to generation. It's run by George at the moment. His great-grandfather was in the sports retail business of shotguns and half guns, and George family took her over, I know, 56 years ago, and they started doing all the fishing tackle and that. Quite a busy shop. I think it's the only one around Cork City at the moment, and I pay a visit every now and then there, pick up a few flies and buy a few rods maybe or so, reels and lines and that. Fantastic variety of fishing gear. That's it, Murray's, P.W. Murray and Company Limited, run by George. Well, I just thought I'd drop off and take a couple of videos of this River Flesk. This is at the main junction turn off for Kenmare and Kilgarvan actually. I used to fish this river, Jesus, 30 years ago. I used to get a fine run of grilse and salmon. I haven't been down this way now. Oh, it must be a good 30 years to say at least actually. Beautiful spot, lovely little walkway all the way down. It's the main bridge. It's on the borders of Cork and Kerry. Beautiful river, very easy to fish actually. We'd normally stand on the edge of the bank here. At the time with worm fishing, no way I'd say you'd actually fly fish this. And the salmon used to hang out the back wall over there actually, underneath the bridge on the right hand side of it actually. Very low at the moment, but as I said, that's the reason why we're not out fishing either. And this is a place years ago. There's days when you come down here and you put a stand here, all the midges that the cast in your line and run up the steps again. You'll be eating alive of the midges. Spot there. Beautiful river. They're all very rocky, but very fishable, mind you. It's part of the River Flesk. Very low at the moment. We're on the water. When it gets a drop of rain in the next week or two, it'll be very fishable. Look at the spots down there, actually beyond the trees, a couple 100 yards down. There's a lovely pool down there. Got a few grilse and salmon out of it years ago as well. You can actually get down on the rocks there, you can walk along the rocks. We have a fantastic day there now. When there's a drop of water on it, beautiful little pools in it where all the grilse and salmon hang out. I've never got any trout in like it's always just salmon and grilse. Life was easier then. You could walk that down there, no problem. You'd be struggling nowadays to get down there. Fantastic at the river. Go back up and head on the road again. And Brian was supposed to meet me in Cork, but he got his destination mixed up, so I'm meeting him actually down below in Tralee and Landers. I'll head off now and get down there and we'll have a look around the shop. See if there's anything of interest. Another beautiful river between Kerry and Tralee, Turnoff actually. This is called the River Maine. Fished this like the River Flesk many years ago, and this is a fantastic river when it's got a drop of water on it for big sea trout and big salmon. I had some beautiful grilse and salmon and sea trout off this many years ago. Let's see, there's one car here anyway, you know, and I'll take it that he's probably down the way fishing. If you carry on down just around the bend there, there's some beautiful spots, beautiful holes. It's all very wadeable. I said normally when you have a drop of water on this, there's a very narrow roadway as you came up, and it's just impossible to get parking. You nearly want to book your parking spot to this before. It's an open river. and you can fly fish it, whirling fish it, and it's there's no permit, there's no club. The only permit you need actually is your fishing license, which I recommend that you carry with you at all times. I say it is a beautiful, beautiful river, very wadeable. Haven't fished it, but I definitely, this is going to be on my bucket list now. Hopefully between this and the end of the season, maybe even the next drop of water, we'll get on it and we'll do a bit of fish. That's the right hand side of the bridge. This is the left hand side of the bridge. Lovely little weir there actually, you know. You can imagine you can wade out and around it, and just fairly shallow now at the moment actually. Lovely rugged wild countryside, but as I say, very fishable. Imagine the seatrout and salmon that have ran up on that over the years. As I say to you, this is the parking area here. It's a very, very narrow road. It's just behind the main road actually. I'd say it's no more than probably 7 or 8 feet in width. And this whole area here does be full of cars when there's a drop of water on it, and when the fishing conditions are right. But that's it, the River Maine. Definitely I'll fish that by the end of the season. Myself and Brian will throw a line over that. As you can see, this is the narrow roadway up to it, very narrow. So you wouldn't want to be meeting another car coming up, or somebody will have to go into reverse. Normally I'd give way to the locals, but I just say it's got to be 6 or 7 foot wide. It's at the back of the main road actually, from the Tralee-Killarney road, and well hidden out of the way. You'd pass it on, which I've done many a time and forgotten where it is, but I managed to find my way around it again. Council would be too interested in filling those in for the sake of the old fishermen. That's it anyway, so we'll head on into Tralee, and hopefully Brian will be waiting for me when I get in. Here we are, Landers Fish and Tackle Shop actually. This is what we came down for. I went in and I got myself some beautiful flies. I got about 30 flies for the rest of the season. Nice small bibios and Cape McLarens and you name it. Some flies that I haven't seen before. I don't even know the name of them, but look, we'll try them anyway, and that's what we came down for. We had a good look around. Fantastic amount of stock inside there, and don't you know, you want to buy everything, but we have most of it, and you can only use one rod at a time. So we'll head on down into Killargan now actually, and we might have something to eat. Brian's ahead of me here actually, and Brian in front of me here now, and we're going to try and, I think there's a different route back to through Killargan, which will take us into the Red Fox. And as I say, I'm actually hungry now at the moment, so we'll cook up something, a little recipe maybe that I should put together, and we'll have a bite to eat. It looks like we might get a bit of rain as well. I think there's a bit of rain forecast. Of hours. It was supposed to clear up about 6 or 7 o'clock or so. Alright, so we're right beside the pub anyway, so if it does rain we can just slip in, have a little drink or two until it clears off, and come out and have the main meal in the evening then. I'm enjoying the day actually. It's a day out, as I say, a day of relaxing. And having said that, it would have been a great day for fishing after all, because when I came out early this morning it was just a scorcher, very, very warm. Nearly 20 degrees at 7 o'clock in the morning, but I think by 11 o'clock, as you can see, it's at the clouding over and there's a nice breeze. So look at, I'm afraid we called that one wrong, but look at, we'll enjoy the rest of the day now on that actually, you know. So we'll be staying the night, and I think there's a little Kerry's in some football game here today as well, so we'll be all looking at that in the telly, a bit of an atmosphere in the pub. That's Brian in front of me anyway, you know, so follow him to Killargan. He knows the road more so than me. Stay behind him so I don't get lost. Another river on my route. This is the lower Glen Car River actually, and this is where I spent many a weekend learning my fishing skills many years ago. And as you can see, there's not a drop of water on it. We're definitely going to hit this river as well before the end of the season. It's a great salmon seatrout river, well in its heyday. Now the upper part of it is run by a chap by the name of Michael O'Shea. He's the manager, and they have a hatchery up there, so which helps the stock, I suppose, to add to wherever wild salmon come in there as well. So you have a good chance, and especially after a flood as usual, it's a great to catch yourself a salmon or even a sea trout. Great fly river. Caught many a salmon on it actually on the fly years and years ago. Beautiful scenic area, lovely cascading mountains behind you. Lovely there. Now this is another stretch on the lower Car River system. This is really an old bridge, or support for an old bridge that we built maybe it could be 100, 200 years old actually. The main structure is gone. But this is absolutely beautiful river. Look at that for Fly River. I know the tide probably going out now at the moment. The tide comes all the way up. I think it actually comes up to my left hand side here, up as far as the rocks above, maybe a little bit further. But as I say to you, this is where I spent many an evening or many a day during the fishing season, catching sea trout and grilse and salmon. My God, they were the great times. As you can see down below me here, the little stretch goes all the way down to the bridge down below. Absolute beautiful stretch of water. It's run by some club, the DSCS or something like that. I remember years ago, but I haven't renewed because I didn't fish. I haven't fished it in, God, must be 20 years or so at least. Or it's another river that they must certainly get involved in. Actually, water on it there. I don't know. I think that's maybe the tide comes in so far, probably going back out again. But a beautiful stretch of water, and plenty of cover from the trees over. A lot of fish maybe lying out at the back of that as well. There we are, a little river to look at for the future. The lower Car River system. Now this is the members club, the CBA, members river access. This is the club, and it's inexpensive to actually join. I'm sure it's only about €50 or so, which is nothing really for an easy a day or two fishing. So good. What I'll do now is I'll carry on and head on up to the Red Fox and meet Brian. We'll cook up something to eat. Well, here we are again, back to the Red Fox. You know something, you must think we're alcoholics or something, because every time we're down here we seem to end up at the Red Fox. I think we're calling there often that they might end up charging us rent. I'm going to pull in anyway and have something to eat. Brian is waiting there for me. I'm sure his tongue is hanging out either for something to drink or something to eat. So we'll get on with it. Yeah. Right, here we are. We're doing a little special dish of mine. It's a toasted egg and paprika, salt, sugar, little kind of roasted bread on the pan actually. No, quite tasty. It's my first time doing it, so we're going to give it a Gary. I'll show you the ingredients there now in a minute. It's the first time doing it actually, so Brian is going to be my taster. He's my guinea pig for the day, so if he likes it, I'm going to have a go of it as well. And these are the ingredients. It's an egg, some paprika, a spoon of sugar, a glass of milk, salt and some black pepper actually. What we do is we mix the bread into the mixture, and those literally then just fry it on the pan. First time doing it, hope it's delicious. Then we'll have the butter. Warm the butter on the pan, we'll have that ready. And then we'll get the buttered and the eggs on the pan, and we'll get that cooked off now in a minute. Well, here we are, the finishing touch. Looks absolutely delicious. Now I add a little something extra to it. Normally you wouldn't have cheese on top, or I put the cheese on top. But I think a lovely poached egg on top of that again would be absolutely beautiful. I'm going to sit down there now and have that with a cup of tea, and I'll let you know what it tastes like.
Conor, you're a very deserving man of the match. Conor Burke, St Vincent's and Dublin, the winners.
He absolutely was a very deserving man of the match. Conor Burke, Dublin, John Conlon. He says everybody writes him off every year. You hear players say that all the time, and usually it's not necessarily. But it is true, everybody has been writing him off. Nobody saw this. What was it done?
Cheers.
Nicely done.
Yeah, it looks nice actually, you know. Well, here we are. We're in for the second meal of the day. This is Chris's baguette. It's my own version of a baguette actually. With I'm putting on some spiced beef, Brian, is it? Instead of German sausage. A bit of cooked ham, tomato,
Spiced beef and cooked ham.
a bit of egg and a bit of parsley. And we're going to toast it in the oven actually. Now, it'll take probably about 15-20 minutes or so. So look at, come back when I have it ready and I'll show you what the finishing is. Here we are. This is the finishing touch to our lovely baguette. It's got ham, spiced beef, tomato, egg, parsley, onion, and what else, Brian, is there? That's it, I think, is it? That's in now a good 15 minutes or so. So I actually cooked it very slow, but maybe I should have turned it up a bit and crusted the bread a bit more. No, it absolutely looks lovely. So the oven is turned off and we're just waiting for it to cool down. Looks delicious. Have that with a cup of tea now, that'd be lovely. Head off into the pub again and have another few tipples. Have a good night. I like the peanuts, yeah? They're lovely, I can have the same as well. I like them as well, actually. Yeah, no, I won't. Yeah, go on, I will. Where'd you get them?
They're nice, yeah. They're not as nice as the other ones, actually.
No?
The nice ones are,
yeah?
nice ones are super value, actually.
They're expensive then.
No.
Down past the levee where the crows won't fly,
Some reason to drop the price of them.
They're nice to money.
where the moss hangs low and the truth runs dry. She sat in the hollow with a jar full of bones,
Here we are.
whispering secrets in
Believe it or not, it's 12 o'clock at night. We just come out of the pub after a couple of scoops. And we're having what's known as the late night dip. And that's not our swimming exercise. We're having some Doritos, some salted peanuts. And what's the dip on it, Mick, or Brian?
Some kind of a salsa.
It's a salsa dip actually, and it's absolutely delicious. Listen, we'll be dying in the morning, but who cares? We're enjoying it now anyway. It's a salsa dip actually, you're dead right, Brian, that's exactly what it is. I have it as a little snack. That is really well done. It's a cocktail glass in a little bowl. And I used the Tech 7 Clear to secure the little cocktail glass to the bowl. Makes a fantastic little setup. We have your peanuts, your popcorn, and your Doritos in the bottom, and your dip in the top, and you just dip your Doritos into it. Look forward to eating that, Brian. How about that, huh?
Nice little snack before we go to bed.
That's your dip away there now. Try the dip there, Brian. Lovely, beautiful. Nice.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, bloody bad. Oh, bloody bad.
Not bad. Where would you get it? In the middle of nowhere.
Life for living, huh?
Well, here we are. Another weekend down. And unfortunately no fishing. But look at, that's purely down to the conditions. When we were talking, myself and Brian, Friday night, we were debating where to go, or should we go fishing, or the forecast was telling us bright sunshine, a bit of breeze. Look at, we decided to have another day of doing nothing, a lazy day. So we said, look, we'd head on out for Friday and Sunday and that, we'll head on down to maybe the old Red Fox and take a visit into Tralee. There's a tackle shop down there called Landers that we just want to go and have a look. They have a great variety of fishing rods and flies and everything. Same as Murray's. Murray's actually, I buy most of my gear there, but we said we'd just go down there just for a bit of a drive and that. Spend the evening then in the Red Fox. I wanted to use the cooker. I have a couple of experiment really with it. It's the new cooker, and I just wanted to do some simple dishes just to see that everything was working okay. In the meantime, I decided as well to pay a visit to some of the old rivers that I used to fish years ago. That's where I started my fishing adventures with some very good friends. That was a long time ago. It could be 30 odd, maybe even 40 years ago. Look, we were young then, but between this and then, kind of everybody went their own way. You know, you meet a girl, you fall in love, I suppose, and you get engaged, you get married, and you have kids, and that's the end of your fishing for a while anyway. So by Sat and Brian, we headed off anyway. We ended up in Landers and I bought some flies actually. And as I say, I decided to pay a visit to some lovely rivers that I fished way back then. One was the Flesk, the other was the Lower Carra, the Carra Lake, and another great sea trout salmon river is the River Maine. It's between Tralee and Killarney actually, and as you see, I put that up on video actually. You know, they were rivers that were fantastic rivers. Like way back then, we didn't even look at the forecast any week we were going out. We just said we're going out and that's it, we're going away. I made a great time. We got loads of fish, loads of grills, loads of salmon, loads of sea trout, and nice big brown trout as well. But unfortunately, over the last 10 or 15 years or so, it was just deteriorated badly, especially for the fly fishermen anyway. I find that they're not easily come to the fly anymore, dry flies or wet flies or that, you know. You have to go down low, really down, maybe on some nymphs or even buzzers now and all that. But anyway, look at I'd say I cooked up some simple food, as I say, and we had a couple of drinks inside in the bar in the Red Fox, and we had a great chat. And weather-wise, it turned out a bit. We thought it was going to be sunshine all day, but it actually got windy. We got a bit of rain and a bit of overcast. You know, something. Brian was said to me, maybe we should have gone fishing really. But look at the decision was made, and I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone on Saturday evening, and he was telling me he was out fishing for 4 hours in Lochleen and he'd only one trout. So I think we made the right decision. Look at next week anyway, I hope we get out fishing. If not next week or the week after, we'll get a bit of rain. I think there's a bit of rain due next week actually. We might get the grills running, and we might hit one or two of those rivers I was on about, and maybe do a few hours on the boat on one of the lakes as well. So look at, until then, tight lines.